Hi there, my name is Ethan McKellar, and I am the host of We the Next Generation, and welcome to our first episode. Today's episode is exciting, not only because it's our first, but we're going to chat with Davie Osborne, who is going to talk about celebrity endorsements. He's a writer and actor here in New York City. And we're also going to hear and see Gianna Joyce go out into Washington Square Park and chat with voters about what they think about the upcoming election, which is exciting. And today's topic, as kind of stated before, is celebrity endorsements. So we already know that some high-level people have endorsed both Trump and Harris. For Harris, we know we have Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, George Clooney. For Donald Trump, the biggest that maybe is big is Elon Musk, Hulk Hogan, who spoke at the the RNC, and Kid Rock, Stephen Baldwin, who is ironically the brother of Alec Baldwin, who played Donald Trump for SNL, which is kind of interesting. So the list is growing for both candidates. I think today filming it, it's 44 days to the election. And I think the list is growing because, as Davie will talk later on, we see that more people want to get involved. The impact becomes larger as we get closer to Election Day. So now we're going to go into our conversation with Davie, and later on we'll see Gianna Joyce out in Washington Square Park. All right, so we are here with Davie Osborne, who's our first guest on We the Next Generation, and we're so excited to have you here. I've known Davie. He's a writer in one of our films with F14 Entertainment, and he's been a great partner with F14. We also know that you're super involved in kind of what's going on in the world, so we thought you would be a great first guest. But just give us a little more background on yourself and who you are.
Yeah, thank you for having me, first of all. I am currently going to Pace University pursuing a BFA in acting for film, television, voiceovers, and commercials. I know it's lengthy. We can just call it FTVC. Also with a minor in arts and entertainment management. Just looking to do and create film, TV, like you said, writing. Actually, the F14 10th film, Candle Sweat, was my first writing credit ever. So that was really exciting. I've just been curious and wanting to do more. I loved doing Candle Sweat, every minute of it. I think I'm excited to venture out in the world, and I'm also looking forward to making things that have content that has something to say, more than just throwing whatever out, especially Gen Z centered stuff, because that is us, and
Right.
That's what I know.
Yeah.
So.
That's actually interesting that you are interested in, obviously, acting, and that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
So, and writing and this kind of public format. And so today's topic is kind of interesting because I think if you ever find yourself in kind of this public light, this public ability to kind of reach people, I think this is so interesting because you will be kind of faced with this question of are you involved, or are you not involved in what's going on in the world?
Yeah.
But before I get to kind of where you're at on that, I would love to chat about kind of what's going on in the world right now. So obviously we have, all these celebrities kind of coming out and endorsing people,
right, yeah.
which is great. And it's great to see involvement. But then I also just saw a couple days ago an interview with a celebrity who was saying, I forget exactly who it was, but he was saying the way to get involved is to donate and do this and do action rather than just kind of endorsements. And so it was just kind of an interesting kind of parallel and retrospectively how to think about your impact as a celebrity, with voters. So are there any recently that kind of came out, that endorsements that came out that you were surprised about?
I was kind of shocked when I think Sexy Red said she was a Trump supporter. I was like,
okay.
I was like, okay, that's a choice.
Yeah.
But like most of them I've seen have not been that surprising. It's just been like, for most people, I've been like, okay, well, I've thought so, but it's reassuring to know, to actually have it out there and say, okay, I'm backing this candidate. But I think like what you said, or that one person said about donating and doing action, I think it's important to just not only look for celebrity endorsements, because I think we just have to, as a people, be able to mobilize on our own, and have to be able to be our own opinions and voice them and do things without just our favorite musical artist telling us you should do this or you should do that, or an actor you think is handsome and you're like, oh, you should back this. It's much deeper than that. It's like there's real life stakes, but at the same time, a lot of these people have huge influence, and I think the worst thing is to just, I think, for them to deny that they have it, and that it doesn't matter, or they're somehow absolved from the world, just because they don't really have to think about it as much as most everyday people do. But I think just in a perfect world, it would be where we didn't have to worry about politics so much. Then maybe it would be fine if celebrities were a bit more hands off.
Right.
But I mean, this is like a very, we're either going one way or another. Like the campaign so far, the Harris campaign is all about moving forward, and the Trump campaign is all about moving back. Those are very two different outcomes for our world.
Yeah, do you feel though that, so we also have seen though that people have been up until, we might have known where Taylor Swift was leading, right, in terms of her past endorsements of people and all that stuff, but why do you think she waited so long? Or Billie Eilish, all these people who have endorsed, or any of the people that endorse Trump, like, why do you think that they wait so long?
That's a good question.
Or a certain moment.
Yeah.
Is it about impact? Is it about, they're waiting because they know the world is watching after a debate, so that's why she's going to do it? Or do you think it's maybe because she has actually been weighing her choices? I think she was weighing her choices between Trump or...
I feel like they're maybe waiting as more it's coming down to the wire to really lock in, like...
Right, impact-wise. This is going to be the most important moment to do that, yeah.
Right, like, I think... as far as the beginning goes, it wasn't as threatening. It wasn't like, it was, it was there, but we weren't as close to it as we are now. And now it's like, how many days? It was just like...
I think it's 44 now,
44
right?
days,
to the election,
right?
Yeah, or something like that.
So, that's just over a month. I think that's really hopefully their intention behind it. For most people, I think also another thing is, like, I feel like maybe either Taylor Swift or Billie Eilish must know their fan base and would know that they know really where they're swaying and leaning. Because, I mean, it's not really hard to figure out for a lot of celebrities, like, which way they're going. Sure, some of them can, like, throw you a curveball, but a lot of the things they talk about, like, I know they're huge on, like, women in the industry and struggles of being a woman, and so I don't think anyone would hear them talk about all of those problems and those struggles that they go through and then think that, oh, they're gonna back Trump. So I think it's a bit of both.
Right. And now, so in terms of young voters, Gen Z voters, Do you believe that Gen Z voters do have a tendency to like follow those endorsements, or do you believe that Gen Z voters are more likely to vote based on actual research and yeah, stuff like that, and the knowledge they have?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I would think that we're so opinionated and like we're one of the generations that have been most active in politics and just world issues at this young age more than most others. So I think that for the most part, Gen Z isn't waiting to hear a big celebrity to say something, but especially if you're like a minority, like POC, LGBTQ plus, I think we're already seeking that out because we've already faced so much and we want change and we want it now. We need it now. And as far as, because I like to think that as far as voting age, like 18 plus, is like that, but then there might be some people who are not yet the age of voting age and are not fully in it, and then they're seeing a celebrity post something like that might get them thinking about it for when it will, because it will happen eventually, and it's something important that everybody should do. Everyone should go register to vote if you haven't.
Yes. And that's interesting. When we sent Gianna, who's kind of like our field reporter, out there to Washington Square Park, it was interesting. She met a lot of people who were kind of younger, who's still Gen Z but are younger and can't vote yet in this election. And I think that it's kind of an interesting idea that like they still have an impact, right? They might have older siblings that can vote. They might have parents that can vote. And I think just like a celebrity endorsement is kind of we're all on the same page or on the same team. A younger child in a family might be able to, help start the conversation. So I think that's actually kind of an interesting point. All right, now we're going to take a real quick break and head out with Gianna in Washington Square Park. She's going to interview some upcoming voters, but also some people who can't vote yet, but they're interested in what's going on in the world.
Hi, my name is Gianna Joyce, and I'm here at Washington Square Park so that you can get real with G. So I have a couple questions for you.
You can ask me anything you want.
Anything I want?
Anything
I want. Okay. Are you registered to vote?
Oh, I'm registered to vote in Connecticut. I'm trying to switch over to New York right now.
Oh, okay. So you're locked in. Okay. And is this your first time voting in a presidential election?
I voted for Biden last time, and I voted for Hillary, that crazy coup the time before that.
Oh, okay. Period. But what a time, we love to see it. Okay, now my other question is, if you were to take any song, give me any song that makes you think of Kamala Harris.
Any song that makes me think of Kamala Harris? That's a really good question. What's that song where it's like, she's a coconut girl in a coconut world. She's a coconut girl. I feel like I am what a man in Kamala's America would be. What do we do?
No.
Shit.
I'm so.
Yeah.
I'm here with
Fiona, Yasmin, Wiley.
Okay, perfect. And I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. So number one, are you registered to vote? That's the team.
Yes, ma'am.
Period.
Girl, I'm underage.
I'm
17. Yeah, I'm registered.
Slay, we love to see it. And is this your first presidential election that you'll be voting in?
Yes.
And team.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I need you to give me a song that makes you think of Donald Trump. Okay? Any song. I'll give you a second. Yeah, you can think about it. It's a little
Material Girl by Madonna.
Ooh, that's kind of good.
I don't even know if it's like a popular. You know that song like "Fuck Donald Trump." Fuck Donald Trump. I don't fuck with you.
I'm here with.
My name is Pew.
My name is Sebastian.
So number one, are you registered to vote?
No, not yet because I'm
I'm not the age to do so.
Oh, we got underage children. Are you?
I'm a minor.
Also a minor. Okay, but how would you feel about voting in this presidential election if you were to vote?
I'm kind of glad I'm not allowed to vote for this person because I feel like I wouldn't know who to vote for. Like, I feel like, okay, this might be a little controversial, but like, both of them, like, I don't know, okay? Like, I agree with one of them more than I do with the other, but then again, I'm not super aligned with their points. But like, I feel like at this point, I would choose him to be president over any of them.
No, I full-heartedly get that. I feel like the options that we have, especially as like young people, like I'm 19. I'm guessing you're 17 or
Close.
Anyway, but like it's just very hard to see the options that we have and choose an educated guess.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you feel?
I also feel like that's kind of inevitable when it comes to presidents. I mean, like, you're bound to feel like not exactly have your morals like aligned with theirs. So that's why I'm more of like on the independent side. Because when it comes to like politics and all that type of stuff, I tend to kind of like linger off to the side. But I understand why people will want us to contribute in an election once we're of age, because I do realize the significance. But it's like, I feel like I'm way too anxious for that.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, okay, so we're gonna play a fun little game. I'm gonna give you guys would you rather, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys two different scenarios and you're gonna let me know which one you would rather. So, would you rather have to vote in every election for the rest of your life, but you can only vote for candidates you don't like? Or would you rather never vote again? So either stay in this position or you're able to vote but you can't vote for people that you like.
I think that's an easy one. I'd rather not vote for anyone at that point.
But
Because I'm not gonna vote for someone that I'm not exactly agreeing with.
But then would that be like the country of the people? Because we are a democratic country.
Speaking real facts. Speaking real facts. Okay, so what would you choose?
I don't know, because then that doesn't like align with what this country wants.
Yeah, but if you were to choose like the best out of like both,
Best out of both, dude. I feel like I would. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I wouldn't like choose for. I wouldn't like just vote at all. Because if I vote for someone that I don't want
like
to vote
necessarily
for,
good, yeah.
then does that vote really count? Is that vote like really my vote?
Period. It was great talking to you guys. I'm here with
Aiden.
Okay.
Danny.
Oh.
Jack.
Okay, Aiden, Danny, Jack, lovely. So first question I'm gonna ask you: are you registered to vote?
No.
Oh, no. Why not?
I'm not current. I do not currently plan to vote, and I don't live in New York full time.
Okay, valid. But you didn't get an absentee ballot?
No.
Why don't you plan to vote?
I'm not a fan of either political candidate.
That's a valid take. Okay. What about you?
I'm registered to vote, yeah.
Slay, is this your first presidential election that you're voting in?
Yeah, it is.
How do you feel about that?
It's weird. It's definitely strange that like I have a say in that. I'm not that I really do that much, but it is strange.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it's a really strange feeling for us, like especially because this is also my first year voting, and I think it's really weird that I have a say in what's going on in the big house up in DC. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, I am registered to vote. Yeah.
Okay, slay. And is this your first presidential election?
No, it's not. I voted in 2020 as well. Yeah.
Okay, slay. And how do you feel about voting in this presidential election?
Yeah, I'm excited to make my voice heard. I mean, it's too bad that I live in a state like New York where my vote doesn't really matter, but still, I guess, doing my civic duty. Yeah.
Okie dokies. This was Get Real with G. Thank you for watching, and if you were here, thank you for talking.
Are you looking for the perfect merch to have when you go out to vote this November? Well, we're partnering with Ignite, which is a new clothing brand from Flint & Steel. They sponsor today's episode, and what they're doing is creating merch for the election. But you can also check out, they have some great Gen Z merch. Check it out on either our Instagram or Flint & Steel Media's Instagram and get your merch today. All right, now let's head back to our conversation with Davie. So there have been a few, especially podcasters that actually I've been listening to, have come out and said that celebrities campaigns have offered money in return for endorsements.
Yeah.
Is that something that, is right, should happen, or do you feel like that's something that is inappropriate?
I kind of just think it should be the other way around. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
not to like be rude, but like it kind of sounds pathetic. Like
Yeah.
to
It is kind of
ask
pathetic, right?
for to pay somebody to say support you. That's what you do. That's what like brands do when they want you to review their new foundation that's coming out, or like
Right, it's like a brand ambassador.
right,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it's something. But like when we're talking about politics and we're talking about your brand is your politician and you have to pay people to support you and like you, I feel like that's just sad. I feel like it's desperate, and I don't think any politician would do that unless they were like kind of up against the wall.
Yeah.
I feel like they wait for people to come in, and celebrities, influencers, to come to them and be like, I'm going to support you and I'm going to give you this donation. Like I know Beyonce, I think she gave like $4 million and also is letting Kamala Harris use her song.
Yeah.
So it's like that, she didn't have to ask for that at
Right.
all. But yeah, I would hope that, I'm not a political science major, I don't know anything, but if I was running a campaign, I don't think I would ask
Yeah,
for
someone said.
endorsement.
Right. So we do have a quote here from Pharrell Williams on celebrities should stay quiet about politics. They said, I get annoyed sometimes when I see celebrities try to tell you who to vote for. He said, there are celebrities that I respect that have an opinion, but not all of them. I'm one of those people who says, what the heck, shut up, nobody asked you. It is kind of interesting in the sense that some celebrities have this belief that like we're here as artists, right? And that's what we are. Like we are singers. We're this. That's what we do, right? Like we're not politicians. But it's also kind of interesting because how do you then deny, right, your influence?
Right.
Because then you could say the same thing about, okay, why are you doing a beauty commercial? Why are you doing like you're saying, right? So it is interesting, right? Like where's the line between what we should tell people? What celebrities should be able to tell people, right?
Yeah.
Go get this product. And the product is, in a way, could be saying, go and vote for this candidate.
Right.
So it's kind of an interesting kind of back and forth, because I think I see both point of views, right? Like, you are an artist, you didn't sign up for this.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
What is that saying? Like, with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Yeah, it is a bit of a thin line. And like, I definitely understand, like, celebrities are not, that's not what they came here to do. That's not what they got into the business to do. Right. But that doesn't mean you aren't a person. And all celebrities were people before they were celebrities. And I think they all have opinions and have things that we like to say. If there's like anything about the internet, it's that people just like to say what they're thinking. But I think how you manage that is that you don't have to say explicitly one or the other, but you have to be like, you guys should be thinking about this.
Right. I
And
was just about to say,
should
right,
be like, let's make sure this conversation is being had, because the worst thing to do is just act like it's not important.
Not important,
and
right.
it's you don't matter, or like anything just discouraging, because above all that, I think you as a person have to do your own research and have to ask yourself what you believe in and what you think is right and wrong, and look at which candidate is presenting ideals that align with yours and which ones don't. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for maybe people you love and people you care about. But I definitely get the frustration, but I just think, I think there's a way to kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah.
There's no, if anything, I really hear most people saying up until this point, just like be registered to vote, make sure you go vote, which isn't technically
Endorsing, right?
like endorsing, but it's just telling your audience like
It's important.
be ready, be aware this is happening. Like I know a lot of them will post like the different registration deadlines for each state, you know, and then like the deadlines for requesting an absentee ballot, all those kinds of things, which I think is a great thing. And then now, as it comes closer to election day, they'll say who.
Yeah, for sure. So I have two more questions before we wrap up. So one question is about some people's like fear of what will happen, and do you think it's fair when some people lose followers because they endorse someone? So we know obviously people on the flip side that maybe came out for Trump, people are like, oh wow, but it happened to Taylor Swift as well, right? Like she lost followers, and it happened to all of the people that lost followers. Do you think that is that fear understandable, that like some celebrities are like, I don't want to lose some of the people, even though I don't believe in it, I don't want to lose my listeners? And what do you feel about that idea?
I mean, I would hope that's not the main thing keeping them back, because
Right.
I think it's so much bigger than just followers. And like, I guess with Taylor Swift as an example, I'm sure with the amount of followers she still
she's gonna be
has,
fine.
it's
Yeah.
like it's fine. Same with Billie Eilish. Like, I don't think anyone they lost was like a huge blow to their career.
Right. And you could say, well, they're weeding out the people that they don't really believe.
Right.
And their kind of values.
Right. And I'm sure most people want to collect a crowd of people that are like you and think like you and morally are on the
Aligned.
same page
Yeah.
as you.
Right.
Because, I mean, that's like the big question here is like, it's a lot of morality.
Right. So the last question I have for you is circling back. Okay, let's say a couple years from now, you're a celebrity in a movie, and you are out there. It's election year.
Yeah.
And we're maybe in a similar situation where there's a very divisive kind of campaigns here and country. Obviously it depends on the candidates, but where do you see yourself as a player in that world?
I definitely see myself always being vocal and making sure that telling my audience, I would want them to know, like, do your own research.
Okay.
Listen to yourself first. Get facts over everything else. And be informed, and don't act like it doesn't affect you or it's not important, because it is. And realize that this is the real world and it's not perfect, where a lot of people don't have the privilege to not vote or to not voice their opinion, whereas some people really do have that privilege.
Right.
I would just want to make sure everyone knows like what's going on.
Right.
And being constantly be like, do you guys know about this?
Right.
And I would definitely endorse a candidate that I believed in. Like, I'm from North Carolina, and we're having a very insane governor race, and I'm very much vocal about that. I would want people, especially from being from such a swing state, I feel like it's nice to come out and say, like, let's back this person. Let's be aware these are the upcoming deadlines. Constantly check your registration. At least that's what I would hope to do. I'm not really afraid of like how it could impact my career, or I don't know, or just like losing some followers. Like, if you didn't know that about me when you followed me, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's great. That's great advice. You heard it from Davie first. He would tell everyone to get informed, and that's what you should all be doing right now, is get informed and educated, and most importantly, vote.
Yes.
Thanks, Davie, for being our first guest on We the Next Generation.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to follow and subscribe to us on YouTube and anywhere where you watch your podcast. We will see you guys next Thursday on We the Next Generation.